What's up, everybody? It's Luke James, not the singer. If you're looking to contact me, you can hit up this email that's right here. But today I'm going to hit you up with my thoughts and opinions on this new album from Slowthai called TYRON. Now, Slowthai is a rapper who came onto my radar a couple of years ago because I really did enjoy his Nothing Great About Britain album. I thought he showed a lot of versatility on there, not just with his wild and unique rap style, but also with his ability to give us bangers and more thought-provoking tracks. And that duality that we got on that album is coming through on this album, and it's put in the forefront. You'll notice when you look at the track listing, it's split into 2 discs, which is something that just feels weird to say, since discs aren't even really a thing anymore. I mean, you can still buy CDs, but who's doing it? To keep moving forward, though, you'll notice that the first disc, or the first part, has tracks listed in all capitals. These are the angry, aggressive bangers. And then the second part, or the second disc, is all in lowercase letters, which is giving us those thought-provoking, more deep tracks. I thought this was a pretty cool idea for him to do that, and it was something that stuck out to me right from the start when I saw the track list. But we're going to start off with that first half, because the album opens up with an eerie-ass banger called 45 Smoke. This one really gave me some serious Memphis / 3-6 Mafia vibes, and I'm talking about that evil beat switch up, as well as that refrain of the 45 Smoke that goes on over and over and over. This just sounds like something you would have heard from 3-6 Mafia back in the 90s, and you are going to hear more of that style as well. Like on the song What, you're getting some frantic strings and muffled vocals. You're going to get a similar vibe on the single Vex. He did just put a video out for that, so check it out. And then on the song Dead, we're getting yet another spooky banger, and a hook that sounds like something Lord Infamous would do. That hook actually comes from Quest Darko, and I think he pulled it off really well. So, since I did mention Lord Infamous, I always got to say RIP to him, because I think he is one of the most underrated MCs, and he never fully gets the respect he deserves. So RIP to the Scarecrow. He really paved the way for a lot of artists. But what really makes these evil bangers work so well is Slowthai himself. I did mention earlier that he has a very unique and wild style, and it's the same thing on here, man. His voice can get very chaotic. He's damn near shrieking and yelling sometimes. Other times he makes it a bit more sing-songy and subdued, all of which you're going to hear on the song MAZZA. I actually didn't like this song the first time I heard it because the opening verse was chaotic and all over the damn place, but it grew on me with more listens because the bass is just thicker than adhd, and that crazy style that he's working fits with the idea of the track, because apparently MAZZA, or Mazzoline, is slang for going crazy. This track, like I said, grew on me, and I thought A$AP Rocky had a great verse on there as well. I didn't like A$AP Rocky's last album, but after hearing him rip this beat up, I'm definitely looking forward to hearing more from him in the future. Now, you may have noticed that so far I'm not saying much about the lyrics here, because that first disc isn't giving you a lot of lyrical content. That's not what I like this first half for. I like it for the bangers, the aggression, and the anger. That's what you're going to get right there. But we do get a little bit of content on the song Cancelled, where he and Skepta are obviously rapping about cancel culture and just taking aim at the trolls and people who put out these anonymous reports, people who are always coming at you behind their little profiles. You know what I mean? They don't put their face out there or their real name. They always got shit to say. I thought that was a really dope track, and Skepta's verse in particular goes pretty deep into dealing with these people. So again, you're getting another beat that is nastier than Kid Snot, thicker than Pinky before she fell apart and got all sloppy looking. So that first half is really going to get you on your feet and going crazy, man. This is the type of shit that I think will work well at shows, have people moshing and going ham. So really like that first disc, and it actually ends with a song called Play With Fire. This song does get a bit more gentle and a bit more smooth, and here we have Slowthai reflecting on his coming up through the stress and the negativity. I thought this was a pretty cool way to end that first disc, because it does flow nicely into the second disc, where we get the first song called I Tried. This one to me was just an immediate standout. I love that crackly, soulful production on it, and again we have Slowthai pouring out his pain about his emotional scars, different things he's been through, and his struggles. I just think it's a very emotional and heartfelt track, and I appreciate that Slowthai is opening up more on the second half of this project. He's really showing you his imperfections and the many sides of himself, and I think this idea to split it into 2 parts was a pretty cool one, because the first part is basically him wilding out, getting into trouble and fucking up, while the second part is him sort of dealing with the aftermath of his imperfections, his shame, and the things that he did fuck up. So it was a pretty cool idea, and it gives you the whole picture of Slowthai and who he is. You'll hear more about this on the song Focus, where he's rapping about how his focus and drive helped keep him together in spite of his struggles and the people that doubted him. I think the way the vocal sample and the bass intertwine on this track is incredibly dope. I really like that one. And then on NHS, he's rapping about accepting yourself and persevering in spite of life just being the same shit different day sometimes. times. Really dope track, and I think the beat on this kind of has a bit of a Snow Child feel. You know the Weeknd song Snow Child? When I was listening to this song, that's what it made me think of, but maybe it's just me. All these tracks are great though, and they're showing you the deeper side of Slowthai. To keep it moving forward, on ADHD he spits, "Sitting in a pit, only me and myself, I can't deal with the screams, only screaming at myself." So again, Slowthai is sort of at war with himself. He's facing his demons head on and just trying to get better. Even on the song Push, he admits to being embarrassed by his actions when he's under the influence. And this is a very gentle guitar track with some angelic vocals from Deb Never, who has a great performance on here. So I thought that was a nice little track. And on a side note, I can't help but feel that some of this content about the substance abuse, cancel culture, and reckoning with his shame is inspired by his actions at the NME Awards, where he had an altercation with the host Catherine Ryan. I remember seeing that, man. He was so fucked up and sloppy, saying a lot of wild shit. I just didn't know how he was going to recover and come back from that, but he really did put it all into his music on this album, so I do appreciate and respect that, and we'll see how much he really is working on becoming a better person, because he's certainly thinking about it on this album, and that's something that I can appreciate. This album is just incredibly honest to me, and I always appreciate artists who do that, because you're putting the bullseye on yourself when you're getting into this content and calling yourself out. Not everybody's going to take you seriously. Some people might think you're bullshitting, some people might want you canceled, as he's talked about on this album, but as far as I'm concerned, I feel like Slowthai is trying to work through his things, and that's pretty cool. To wrap up the last couple of tracks, we have Terms. This one revolves around the pressure of being in the spotlight and just how everything you say and do goes under the microscope, once again tying into cancel culture and dealing with the pressures of money and fame. And even though we don't get a verse from Denzel Curry here, I really did like his melodic performance on the hook alongside Dominic Fike. I hope I'm saying his name right. Really is just a smooth hook on there, some nice melodies, it's catchy, yet another great track. And lastly, we have the song Feel Away. This is a very gentle track with some nice vocals from James Blake, and apparently Slowthai said on IG that this is a dedication to his brother, who had died back when he was a child, but the content itself on this song seems to deal with a relationship falling apart, as Slowthai sings, "Suddenly not half the man I used to be, but truthfully ain't half the bitch you could have been," on the hook. So there's some stuff going on there in the relationship where they're both not living up to the expectations. So that was a pretty cool track as well. And this album here is an early 2021 favorite for me, and I'm going to go with a 9 out of 10. I don't really have many complaints here, and alongside Nothing Great About Britain, we have Slowthai putting together a nice discography very slowly, man. I really like both of these projects. I think the only thing that might turn people off here a little bit is that first disc, where it is just those more generic bangers, you know? You're not getting a lot of content or lyricism. It's all just about the crazy flows, the aggression, the big bass, and those types of things. So sometimes people don't like that stuff too much. Myself, I can be a hard critic when it comes to that, especially if a whole album is on it. But in the span of this album, I think it works really well with the concept. And I love that Memphis / 3-6 Mafia sound. So I really appreciate bangers with that spooky, almost horror movie type of vibe to it, you know? So those were some tracks I liked. And I also liked the second half with the thought-provoking, more in-depth content from Slowthai. So, pardon me, I know my voice isn't all the way up to snuff. That's kind of why I've been on vacation from these reviews for a while, man. I've had a lot of stuff going on here, plenty of snowstorms and power outages. I've been sick, my wife's been sick, all my kids have been sick. I just needed a bit of a break, but I am on vacation now, so this review's going up. We got Devin the Dude coming up. I'm also going to review that, what's that movie called? It's escaping me. The Judas one, you know which one I mean, the one that's got that Jay-Z and Nipsey song. We're going to do that compilation or soundtrack, whatever you want to call it. So yeah, stay tuned. We got some reviews coming on the way. Thank you for watching this one. Make sure you do that good YouTube and social media stuff where you show me love and you show me lots of it. Thank you for watching, everybody, and I will see you next time.